Brought to you in part by
Like the views of the station.
Fires crossing around after left side. Shakes a tackle in 20. He's in the clear. Down the sideline. 10, 5, touchdown.
Coming up on Michigan Replay, the Brown Jug stays in Ann Arbor as Michigan gets a huge win over Minnesota. We'll have the highlights. We'll also meet a guy who touches the ball about 10 times a game, and every time is critical. And we'll look ahead as Michigan gets ready for a road battle at Illinois. We'll scout the Illini. All that and more coming up next.
Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Abso Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Chevrolet. Stop by your Detroit area Chevy dealers or log on to DetroitAreaChevyDealers.com. And by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services.
Well, my hat's off. That defense the second half. You were unbelievable.
Lloyd Carr a little fired up after that victory over Minnesota.
Well, Jim, the 86th battle for the Little Brown Jug was one of the better ones.
It really was. You know what I did? I did it today especially for you. I brought my M.
Oh, my
Do you like
goodness.
that?
I've never seen
You haven't
that
seen one
before.
of those?
No.
How about that, huh?
We got to get one. Everybody should have one of those.
The Alumni Association has them.
Oh, really?
You can get one of these, and I'll show you. That's for you. If you didn't win, I wasn't going to wear it. But this, you said after the game, and I think this is appropriate to put it all in perspective. Last year's game and this year's game kind of creates a national perspective. Michigan-Minnesota, the rivalry, is back big time.
Well, I don't think you could have two greater football games, that both of which went down to the last minute of the game and comeback victory. We've been fortunate to win them both, but Minnesota, you got to give them credit, Jim. Glenn Mason and that football team, they played their hearts out. It was truly what college football is all about.
And you came out throwing the football. You said this game you wanted to use the pass to set up the run.
Well, I think Terry Malone and Scott Loeffler and Andy Moeller, we looked at the defense and we felt like we had some good matches, and we gave them a couple of formations. That was one of the new formations for this game, and it's more like a running play with Braylon carrying the football in.
And here's a nice little screen to Mike Hart, who had a brilliant day.
Well, Jimmy carried the ball 35 times and caught 6 passes. I'd say that's quite a bit of work for anybody, and Mike did a great job. And here, a well-blocked play, our offensive line. Reuben Riley stepped in. Leo Hennedy received an injury last week against Indiana. Unfortunately, after playing a great game down there, is going to miss the rest of the season, but Reuben stepped in there and did a good job.
You're up 7-0 at this point. This is their next possession. This is Maroney. He gets out for 24, but you force him into a 4th and 3 and make a play.
Well, we had a great call. We're in man coverage, and Leon Hall, they motioned across the formation. Leon got his hand in there and knocked it away. Now, we got good field position and the lead, which is exactly what you'd like to do at home, get ahead.
And the other thing you like what Chad Henne's doing now is this is a check down to his underneath receiver, Mike Hart.
Yeah, his first read was down the field, and then he came off of that. He didn't force it, dumped the ball, and Mike gained good yardage there for a first down.
And great run here by Massaquoi. The other thing I think is important to point out, the protection Chad had on Saturday was incredible.
Well, you got to give credit to David Boss and our tackles, Adam Stenovich and Jake Long and Matt Lentz. Those guys all did a great job. And I think our tight ends probably had their most productive day of the year.
10-0. You look like the thing's going your way, then all of a sudden, bang, here comes Maroney.
First down, Jim, and there is a small hole there. We miss a tackle, but it was a well-blocked play, got into the secondary awfully fast, and that's what happens when you got a great back that is as fast as Maroney, 80 yards. And that 10-0 lead is gone.
You worked real hard for that 10-0 lead, and boom, just like that, it's 10-7.
Doesn't take much.
You come back here, you're moving the football, again, through the air for the most part.
We mixed it up. I thought we had an outstanding game plan. Here again is a play with Braylon to a four wide receiver, to a four receiver set. And it's like a running play, sweep, but you're passing the ball out there. Play action, checks down again here to the outlet, and Jason Avon had his best day of the year.
And then you go to Braylon Edwards at the corner of the end zone, and this is just another play that Braylon makes.
Well, yeah, you throw it up, and it's one-on-one coverage, and Braylon, the defender, of course, is turning into the receiver. He doesn't see the ball, and Braylon takes it away, and now we're 17-7. So we answered their score with a very good touchdown drive of our own.
Now, did it surprise you at all that on some first downs they went up top?
No, we expected it, and this young quarterback from Minnesota is going to be a very good football player, and they've really their receivers are big guys and made some plays. And now we give up a big pass, which sets up this run for a touchdown, and now it's 17-14. Two big plays there really led to 14 points.
Yeah, the thing about that, though, is going in at half, you knew. I mean, this wasn't going to go either. This was going to be tight and go 4 quarters, didn't you?
Well, yeah, we talked at the half. We said, hey, they're not going away. That's a good football team. They're ready to play. They were playing very hard. And we had to come out and take care of the football and take advantage of the opportunities, because offensively we were moving the ball very well.
All right, we'll come back and take a look at the second half when Michigan finally puts it away. But first we hear from first start man Reuben Riley. He talks about that first big start in the O-line.
A great guard in Leo Hennigy went down, and it was my turn to step up. And, you know, the butterflies were there. But after the first hit, I just remember, you know, this is football. I've been playing this for about 12 years, so just continue to play football.
Of course, you know, everyone's just talking about those two all week. You know, the running backs as a group, us running backs, you know, we knew we had to come out, try to prove ourselves again. You know, hopefully we'll start getting a little more respect.
The Wolverines had the lead at the half, but you get the ball coming out in the second half. The second half, though, is when the turnovers caused you to really. That's why I thought it was a great game, because you guys never gave up, even though you turned it over.
Well, we really put our defense in bad field position. Here Mike makes a great run for a first down. He's one of these guys that just keeps his, he's got good balance and keeps his feet moving and comes out of there. Now, Chad makes really his poorest throw of the day, and but he chasing the guy down. But our defense now, which is the thing we didn't want to do, is put in poor field position. And even though our defense rises to the occasion and stops them, we got to catch this ball here. We don't, and as a result, our offense is backed up with very, very poor field position.
And this is a classic example of why field position is important.
There's no question, Jim, because we punt out of there. Minnesota gets the ball inside the 30-yard line. The quarterback makes a good throw. Ellerson beats our cornerback on an out-and-up cut for the touchdown, and now they have the lead.
They have the lead 21-17. But your offense continued to move the ball. This had to be heartening for you.
Well, Jim, here again, we're starting from our own 10-yard line on a big third down conversion, or we're going to have to punt out of our own end zone. But Jason Avant makes a spectacular catch to keep the drive alive, and we begin to run the football very effectively.
And here's a 2nd and 1 call. Would you like to have this one back?
No, because I think it was a good call. But 2nd and 1, because we still got 3rd and 1 if we throw an incompletion. But Chad threw the ball back towards the middle of the field. He's got to learn from that, and he will. But now the field position again, we probably should have blocked the punt there. And then we make probably the biggest mistake of the day. We mishandle a punt back there, and now our defense has got to come up with a stop.
This is clearly the biggest sequence, I think, for the defense of the day. Minnesota with that offense inside your 10, 1st and goal.
Well, on first down, they run the cutback play. It starts out over left tackle, cuts back, and we got everybody in there. Rondell Biggs is in there, and now on 3rd down, we string it out, get good coverage, and hold them to a field goal.
And that is huge, holding them to the field goal. Because if they get a touchdown, they go up 2 scores. And at that point, now you're in a world of hurt. But at only 24-17, you're still very much in it.
Absolutely. We just got to put a drive together. And here this formation again, a well-blocked play. And Braylon comes out of it, gets us a first down, which at this stage of the game, we've got to get some points on the board.
In the second half, you ran the ball more than you did the first.
Well, I think, Jim, the way we started the game, we're coming out throwing the football, it really opened up and set up the run for us as the game went on.
And Jason Avant again, great catch, but a check down from Chad Henne.
And he's getting up the field, Jim, there. He's running for 5-6 yards after he catches the ball, moving the chains. And now we get bogged down, and I don't know how on this earth Garrett Rivas made this kick. We had a low snap, and I watched that on every kick situation. I don't know how Matt got it down, and I don't know how in the world he made the kick, but he did. Just like I told him, they all count 3.
That's it. And that made it 24-20. This is a third down play. You almost had him, you know,
well, Jim, this
stop.
is probably the time that looked absolutely the darkest for us. They hit a play
right with about 4
down
minutes to play
to keep the ball. We've used 2 of our timeouts left, and Ernest Shazer makes a great individual effort, runs over the blocker, knocks him back for a 4-yard loss, and then we force the punt and begin what will be a drive that will be remembered for a long time.
No timeouts. Freshman quarterback. This kid's as cool as the other side of the pillar.
Well, he's got a lot of guys up there front, in that front, fighting to protect him. There again is Avant, who was absolutely outstanding. And
look at this protection, though. That's what I think is.
Well, Chad makes a great play there, Jim, coming off his initial receiver, having the presence of mind to look and find Avant open again. Here's Braylon again, and this is a very, very good individual play, getting excellent yardage.
And here's the touchdown.
Well, this is a good match for us. A linebacker on Tyler Ecker, and that's hard duty, and because he can run and he makes the play of his life, I'm sure.
So with inside of 2 minutes to go, you score to take the lead in a great drive with no timeouts left. Puts the onus on Minnesota, and your defense comes up with another big play.
Well, on 4th down here, or well, that was 2nd down. I think they have to use their last timeout. And then on, we get a sack. Pat Massey and that line. Gabe Watson did some great things. And then on 4th down, they don't make it, and we get to run the clock out.
27-24, the win. Congratulations. Couple of things as I was walking out, people were talking a little strategy of the stadium. The timeouts you took early, and the reason you took them is because your defense was playing well, and you had your 3 timeouts. That's why you punted the ball, right?
Well, Jim, you know, in college football, the clock stops on a 1st down. So we had, what I wanted to do is get the football with as much time left on the clock, rather than let the clock run down, and you may have 2 minutes, but in 3 timeouts. I'd rather have 3 minutes, and you know, because the more time you have, the more difficult it is to call defenses.
Right, but offensively too, in college football, you can control the game better on offense and the clock than you can on defense. On defense, you just got to sit and watch it run.
Absolutely.
So that's why you used the timeouts, and that's why you punted the ball.
Yes, it is. Why were you second guessing?
I was not second guessing.
I'm going to listen to the replay.
For those people, well, don't listen to the last 4th down play. Beckman will kill me.
Well, the truth is that when they hit the pass, to wheel right up the sideline on 3rd down to get a new 1st down and a new set of downs, then you know, that backfired. But if I had the same decision to make again, I'd do the same thing.
With the defense playing as well as it was, and the time and the 3 timeouts.
Well, that's the big thing. The defense was playing so well. I had plenty of confidence that they would get them stopped, and I thought our offense, if given 2 or 3 minutes, we had an opportunity to go down and score.
Here's the bottom line. You won the game, you're a genius.
No, I'm not a genius. I wouldn't, regardless, but you know, that's the interesting part of this game, you know, when it comes down to the end. But the credit belongs to a great group of guys that fought like the devil, and a great group of coaches.
You bet. Michigan wins the Little Brown Jug. Don't go away. When we come back, we will meet the long snapper, but first we hear from Tyler Ecker, who said the game winner was no surprise.
I mean, we knew something was going to come down to something like this. I mean, the whole week we prepared, like doing the 2-minute offense. We knew it was going to come down to a last-minute drive, so we put it together and scored.
So how do you get from Kentucky to the University of Michigan and become a very important player on the Wolverine special teams? For long snapper Ross Mann, it was a stroke of good fortune, and he's very grateful it all happened.
Coach Herman was recruiting our kicker, and he saw me snapping to him on film in a couple of games, so he talked to me, and the idea of Michigan just blew me away. So immediately I was sold.
Michigan should be grateful too. Mann is a very analytical player. He's a thinking man's long snapper who knows that the only time you hear his name is when he makes a mistake.
Well, you know, you have to avoid that. It's mammoth pressure. You have to be really responsive to the pressure. You have to be proactive in the offseason working. You know, Adam Finley and I, every day in the offseason, we do about 50 to 100 snap to punt operations every single day. Our goal is to be the best operation in the nation. And so far, I think we're having a pretty good season, although we can improve week in and week out.
There is tremendous pressure on him every time he bends down to touch the ball. But for this youngster, pressure is just another issue to analyze and overcome.
You learn to accept it. You learn to thrive on it. You really learn to enjoy it. You wake up every morning and it makes your blood boil. You know, for about 0.7 of a second, 7 or 8 times every Saturday, the game's in your hands. And with the responsibility of field position changing hands 35 to 45 yards every single punt, you realize if you don't do your job effectively, you're going to hamper your team's ability to win the game.
As you can gather, Ross Mann is a bright, articulate young man, and he's committed to more than just football. A political science major, he'd like to go to law school, and after that, he feels he has a debt to repay.
Honestly, I'd like to serve in the military some way possible to pay back all the goodwill that's been bestowed upon me. First off, what you would do, if a university graduate, you could go into officer training, and then you'd have your choice of air, ground, or legal. You know, legal means you could be a military attorney, be a JAG, and serve for about 4 years doing that. But I'll have my choice. I don't know what I would like to do, though. I'd like to leave all my options open and just think about that.
Well, you know, Jim, I want to say something.
Yes.
I think that's the greatest thing about this show. Those types of things where you highlight our players.
And we get more than just the fact that he plays. Here's a kid that wants to give back to this country and serve as a JAG. That's remarkable. God bless him.
Well, he's going to be very successful. He's done a great job, and you're right about one thing. That is a high-pressure job. Only his teammates really know and appreciate the value that he brings to our team.
Well, he does a great job doing it, that long snapper Ross Mann, and we wish him all the luck the rest of the year and in the future. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll scout Illinois, but first we hear from Gabe Watson, who says, now is not the time to rest on your laurels.
You have to take every team, you know, like it's a big-time opponent. You can't go into a game thinking like, okay, we're just playing so-and-so or so-and-so. We can lay down right now. Because as soon as you do that, that's when teams beat you, you know. So you have to go in there, you know, with confidence, hoping, and not hoping, but like thinking nothing but winning the game and fight our hearts out to win.
University of Michigan football season tickets, courtesy of your Detroit area Chevy dealers. Register to win online at www.detroitareachevydealers.com or mgoblue.com, or stop by one of the Chevy displays in and around Michigan Stadium prior to home games this season for your chance to win a 2005 Chevy Equinox.
To inside the locker room.
I think here at Michigan, we take every game serious. We take every game as a Big Ten championship game. So don't matter who we play, Illinois, Ohio State, we're going to play the same team the same way.
Ernest Cesar with 12 tackles against Minnesota. Nice day for him.
That's a great day.
But against Minnesota, your safeties, you knew your safeties were going to have to play.
Well, you know, Jim, we had some guys that played a year ago. They were part of that debacle, you know, in terms of, and
even though you won.
And they did, yeah, and they did one great job of being ready to play this football game, and Jim Herman, that staff, they did a masterful job.
And you've got to be ready next week to play a game against Illinois on the road. And this is not a team that, even though the record isn't that good, you can't take anybody in this league lightly.
Well, Jim, all you have to do is look around the conference, and Champaign is not an easy place to play, as you know.
Well, it never has been for Michigan.
No, and John Butcher has been around, seems like forever. I think this is his 6th year because he missed 2 years with an injury, but a big guy, 6'5", great arm. E.B. Halsey was replaced Saturday against Michigan State by Pierre Thomas, who ran for 178 yards. And Halsey is one of the guys that will be was expected to be an all Big Ten conference back.
There's Kendrick Jones. He's a 6'2" wide receiver, another big receiver.
Well, they run the West Coast offense, throw the football and run it, mix it up very well. And Mike Mallory, former Michigan captain and outstanding all Big Ten linebacker, is coordinating the defense, and they've improved defensively.
Mike Mallory, of course, Kurt works at Indiana. Mike now is the coordinator here at Illinois on defense, and he's got some good players, and they're fifth in total offense. This is a team that can give you problems, and coming off an emotional win, your team has to say, okay, forget Minnesota, look forward.
Well, you can't afford to dwell on the past. If you do, you've got to treat it as like Ernest said, you've got to treat it as a new opportunity to play for the championship, because that's really what it is.
If there's one thing, your team, I think, since Notre Dame has steadily improved on a weekly basis, which coaches love, but the one thing that I know you are a stickler for and you want to get better is you can't turn the ball over.
Jim, you know, I think there's nobody that understands, I think, better than our players do, the importance of not turning the football over. But, you know, for some reason, we haven't done